Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Dad and Daughter Download, presented by the Causeway family of dealerships. I'm the dad, Kevin Williams.
And I am the daughter, Alex Williams, and we're a boomer dad and millennial daughter talking pop culture, sports, and life for me in Manhattan and dad at the Jersey Shore.
And of course, as I said, we are proudly presented by the Causeway family of dealerships on Route 72 in Manahawkin, home of Ford, Lincoln, Hyundai, Nissan, and Honda, all there right in the little patch on Route 72. We should call it Causeway Corner. Our family, we are happy to endorse Causeway because we are not just sponsored by Causeway. We are Causeway customers. We all are driving cars from Causeway, except Alex is right now not driving anything. But we're Causeway customers, and we're happy Causeway customers. They have great vehicles, great cars, SUVs, even commercial vehicles. Their service is second to none. And of course, if you like supporting companies and businesses that support the community, then Causeway is certainly one you'd want to be involved with. They have their Causeway Cares Foundation. They do so much good work in the community, supporting so many groups in a variety of ways, including financially. They're just the best. They simply are the best. They are Ocean County's hometown dealer. So when you start your search for your next vehicle, there's a pretty good chance you'll end it at causewaycars.com. All right. Alex, I'm excited about this week's
Me
podcast because
too.
I think we have a couple of subjects that are kind of things that we really haven't done
No, but they're
and
very timely.
very timely. And I'm going to start with a couple of weeks ago. Social media blew up. Story went viral that Tampa International Airport was putting in a dress code in effect that would ban pajamas. And I want to read you a little bit of when they posted this on social media, what they posted. We've
Perfect.
seen enough. We've had enough. It's time to ban pajamas at Tampa International Airport. After successfully banning Crocs and giving everyone the amazing opportunity to experience the world's first Croc-free airport, it's time to take an even larger crisis: pajamas at the airport. In the middle of the day, we know this decision could be disruptive to someone in your life. It's time to have a difficult conversation with them. You can do this. We believe in you. The madness stops today. The movement starts now. Help Tampa International Airport become the world's first croc-free and pajamas-free airport. Do your part. Say no to pajamas at Tampa International Airport. Now that thing went crazy.
Everywhere. The clickbait that got was absolutely wild.
Matter of fact, interestingly enough, and I know you can't read this, but the following day in the New York Post was this huge story about it, which was just a recreation of the social media post with some more information, and I mean, it was everywhere. And I, for one, did this. Well, it took it was a couple of days, right, Al?
Yeah.
Before they announced that after a lot of incredible response to that, it was a lighthearted social media post. And no, they were not banning pajamas and Crocs. However, it did bring to mind that many travelers indeed wear pajamas and Crocs, especially on morning flights. So, with all that said, the real question that we're going to discuss is, have we taken comfort in life to the point of sloppiness?
I think sloppy is I don't like that word. I think it's very negative and I think it can actually have a lot of different meanings when you think about it. I can speak for myself when I say that comfort has become a fashion trend. I think this athleisure trend of being able to wear leggings and more of like an athletic style sneaker and an oversized sweatshirt like Princess Diana used to do is very much a common trend I see here in New York with I'm going for a walk on the West Side Highway, and that's what a lot of girls are wearing, or they're wearing it to run errands. Like, people are not getting dressed up like they used to do everyday things. So I think there's a difference between comfort and still looking presentable, and then comfort and looking like you should not leave the house. But I don't think there really is a right or wrong anymore because of how acceptable this comfort trend has become. And I know for me, I travel a lot. I'm not getting dressed up to go on the plane. Like, I can't remember the last time I wore jeans on a plane. I'm always in leggings or like a two piece like sweat outfit or whatever it may be. So I think that is just the new norm where people just want to be comfortable, especially when you're working from home, which used to not be a thing pre COVID, where you can wear a sweater on top and sweatpants on the bottom and no one will know. And people just want to be comfortable in their own home or when they're doing things now. So I don't know where you draw the line. I think I know, but I don't know if I how honest I want to be here. But I think comfort really has become a very normal trend and way to dress.
All right, so obviously I might be a little bit different than you because I'm old school a little bit, right? Um, Clearly, things have gotten more casual. You can only go back and Google like pictures from the 1950s and see men and women at a Major League Baseball game, the men wearing shirts and ties, the women in dresses. That the only time you see a guy in a shirt and tie is if he's coming from work, right? So that's it.
Yeah.
That's gone down. How about church? Everyone got dressed on Sunday to go to church. All right. Now it's whatever you have on, unfortunately, it seems.
Yeah.
Right? And listen, back in even in the 60s, when you flew on a plane, you got dressed up. I
No.
mean, right? It was not unusual. Now look, that's all changed. And I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form I think it's bad. Because as you know, I am a very casual
I was
dresser.
gonna say you live in Vioris and you're like Hoka sneakers. Like,
Exactly. And I love it that way. Listen, I hate the thought of having to put a tie on, a jacket, even getting dressed up. I love being comfortable. But I also think I'm going back to many years ago where I worked. Now look, when I worked at WOBM, right, for all those years, okay? And I will tell you, this will get me in trouble. Disc jockeys were some of the worst dressed people in America. Ratty concert t-shirts. I mean, they dressed terribly. And it bothered me at times because sometimes we'd have guests coming in to visit the building. Hey, this is my whatever guy and or girl, and they look like hell. But be that as it may. Um, but we always had, I remember a rule when I was somewhat in management. There were three words we used how you should dress for work: neat and clean. That
mhm.
was it. Neat and clean. That doesn't mean getting dressed up, that you had to wear a button down shirt. It just means don't look like you're just rolled out of bed.
Yeah.
And right? You
Yeah.
agree with me on that?
I agree with you. I think even when I come home sometimes you guys give me a hard time though if I'm with you and we're going to get coffee or going to get breakfast and you're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Homeless chic." Like, that's my thing. Like, I like sometimes I like look at myself, I'm like, "Wow, I can't believe I'm outside wearing this." But it's just like it's easy, but yes, you have to draw a line where you need to at least look somewhat presentable, that your hair is brushed, your teeth are brushed, and you are not wearing the clothes that you slept in, which I
I mean,
have done before. So
is it is it too much to wash your face in the morning, like you said, comb your hair, or put a hat on if you're going to wear a hat? Uh, and you know, the pajama thing skeeves me out tremendously. When I go into the convenience store in the morning to get a cup of coffee and people come in with their pajamas on and flip flops, I'm telling you right now, I find that skeevy beyond belief. Am I being smug?
Crocs
Is
don't
that
bother
me?
me.
Is
Crocs
it
don't bother me. Like when people are wearing their Crocs out, like that's just putting on an easy shoe. But like when I see the fleece SpongeBob pants, sometimes I'm a little,
right?
yeah,
Sometimes that's a little too much.
yeah.
Am I right?
But
Um,
to each their own. To each their own is how
you
I
and I
feel.
talked about this before recording. The one thing we both agree on is people on an airplane in their bare feet is
Oh my God.
absolutely hideous.
I don't know how people wear flip flops on a plane. Like I've seen before that you wear like socks when you go, and security is different now. Like we have pre-check, you're not taking your shoes off, but you wear socks and then you change into sandals, whatever. But like I just think bare feet on a plane, like I've been on a plane before where someone has like put their foot up and it's like gotten in between my seat, they're sitting behind me, and they're not wearing a sock, and I want to ring the bell for the flight attendant and be like, can you please get, like, this cannot be okay. Like, this is not, there's etiquette. And that maybe we'll do a whole nother episode on proper etiquette in
Yeah.
situations, but that, yeah, bare feet in a lot of situations skeeve me.
Yeah, and I just, it bothers me a little bit. I know it shouldn't bother me, like you said, to each his own. I guess that's the way it should be. But I just think when you go out in a public place, again, I'm just going to use neat and clean. That should be the rule. That's it. Not dressed up, just neat and clean.
That reminds me, one of our sponsors, the Crab's Claw. Obviously, I waitress there for many summers, and the owners, Sam and his late wife Louise, they were strict. You had to be clean shaven. Your shirt had to have the creases in it. Your pants had to be ironed. Like she wanted all of her wait staff to look presentable. And I know many of times my guy friends had to go to CVS across the street and get a razor to shave in the bathroom before their shift started. So that reminded me when you say like neat and clean, like that was kind of her MO and what they stood for. And I get it. They're running a business and they want the people that represent the business to look very clean and whatnot and put
Well,
together.
who hasn't gone into a business in which the person who was, whether it's just checking out at a register or looked hideous, like unkempt and all of that. And to me, that says that's a message about the business as much as that person.
Yeah,
Am I being snobbish?
a little.
Really?
I think you're not being like it's 2026. I don't know. This is where like our gender, like our age gap, I mean, will like come into play. But I agree, but I don't want to say too much.
Listen, you know me. I'm someone who will wear shorts 300 days a year. Um, I when I worked at WOBM, I was probably the only person who got away with wearing shorts
Yeah.
all summer long, but I always had nice shorts. I
Yes,
mean,
I know.
I didn't wear cut off jean shorts. I mean,
Listen,
I
I
was
know mom dresses you.
yeah.
Like I'm aware that you're yes.
I had a nice polo shirt, and a nice pair of
Topsiders.
topsiders. I mean, listen, I kid around because again, probably nobody I'm working with or we used to work with is listening right now. But hey, I looked a hell of a lot better in shorts and a polo shirt than some of those people look dressed up. So because again, neat and clean, neat and clean. So there is that we agree. There's a fine line between casual and sloppy.
Yeah.
I tend to think a lot of people are moving towards the sloppy line. You think they're more really just going to the casual line, and you're probably right. You're
Yeah.
probably right.
And listen, we don't have to agree, so
No, no. All right. Neat and clean, folks. It's not hard. Now, you mentioned the Crab's Claw, and it's time for us to talk about the Crab's Claw Inn, one of our sponsors. And everyone knows, not everyone, but a lot of people know what's coming up this Saturday, the Ocean County St. Patrick's Day Parade, which of course goes through Seaside Heights and even a little bit of Seaside Park, and will feature the Grand Marshal, who you mentioned, Sam Hammer, the owner of the Crab's Claw, and then
Yep.
certainly afterwards or even during the parade, there will be a full house at the Crab's Claw because it is a great day to enjoy. Listen, this winter has been horrible. I don't know how warm it's going to be Saturday over at the beach, but it's going to be a lot warmer than it's been. Should be in the
Agreed.
fifties. 50s will feel tropical. And at the Crab's Claw, they'll have great entertainment by the Snakes. I believe starting at 3 p.m. And it'll be a great time. And don't forget, another good time is St. Patrick's Day itself, which is March 17th. And if that's not enough, 3 days before that, on March 14th, the Polar Bear Plunge, rescheduled,
Yeah.
was supposed to be last Saturday, rescheduled. So you got a lot of action coming up over in the beach area in Lavalette and Seaside Heights. A lot of things going on in the month of March, which is pretty cool. So we can get rid of this month and then move into April when spring begins in just a few weeks. Also, a reminder, kids eat free at the Crab's Claw Sunday through Thursday from the kids menu with the purchase of an adult food item valued at $15 or more. So that's a pretty cool thing, especially if you have a couple of kids, bring them over Sunday through Thursday. That is the Crab's Claw in our friends, one of our favorite restaurants, and a Lavalette institution. For all the entertainment, including the music they have every weekend, visit thecrabsclaw.com. All right, so now we go from talking about dress codes to something that is much more relevant for you. And
Yeah.
certainly, I'll say this, you and people in your age group than me and people in my age group.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure almost everyone, hopefully, listening is at least somewhat aware of the difficulty that it has become of getting concert tickets. And just this week, there is now a new trial that's underway that really could transform the ticketing industry in a positive way, where the Department of Justice is arguing that Live Nation, who owns Ticketmaster, operates a monopoly in direct violation of antitrust laws. So apparently, it's come out that Ticketmaster makes around $7 and change on each ticket they sell. And if you can imagine how many tickets that is actually insane. And it has become almost impossible for anyone to get their hands on concert tickets for an artist that they want to see. And I know, speaking from firsthand experience, over the past few years, it's been something that really has deferred me from going to shows. I love Taylor Swift. I didn't go to the Eras tour because I couldn't justify spending $800 on a ticket, and that's what they would have ended up being. And people paid upwards of a couple thousand to go see her, or people were flying to different countries and paying for a flight and hotel and a ticket, which was still cheaper than seeing her in the US. So most recently, my friend group has been going through this, and my good friend Chelsea, she for some reason is always the one that is on the hook to get us tickets. I think she volunteers, but she's also very good at it in terms of setting alarms and knowing what time she needs to go on. But the process now is you need to sign up for a pre-sale. So you'll get an email from your artist, or you'll see it on social media. So you'll sign up for a pre-sale. Then you'll get a link the day of the pre-sale to join like the queue. And then when you go in, some artists let you go in 30 minutes early, and then you get admitted, or you go in right away. And then you get brought into this giant waiting room of hundreds of thousands of people trying to get the same tickets that you are trying to get. And think about the venues like an MSG, like they're big, but not to accommodate everyone that wants to go see Harry Styles. So recently Harry Styles did announce I think he's going to be at the Garden for 30 nights starting in June through September, and my friends and I want to see him. He hasn't performed in a few years, so Chelsea was the one that was on the hook to get them for us. When she got in, she was, I think, like 550 in the waiting room, and she actually got tickets within 7 minutes, which she like kind of said like it was all luck. She paid $350 a ticket, and looking now, she could sell them for $640 each. So what a lot of people end up doing is if they get them, they don't even want to go to the show. They just want to resell them because that's where all the money is.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of people end up defaulting to get tickets because they couldn't get them in the pre-sale.
Let me
It's
ask you this. When
yeah.
you said the Harry Styles tickets were $350, that's not on the secondary market.
No,
That's
that's face value. Like
okay, face value. Who
yes.
sets that price?
You know, I don't that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if that's done by Ticketmaster. Like it must be. We actually have pretty decent seats. So I think it maybe is conjunction with Ticketmaster and the venue, or to kind of say like based on because his stage is different. He's in the middle of the at MSG, he's like in the middle of the floor almost.
Okay.
So there's not really a bad seat, I guess. Like if you're in the back, maybe, but so maybe they're valued differently. I'm not really sure. We can definitely follow up with that. But yeah, and then when you want to resell them, I guess you see what are other seats in your section getting when you want to resell them and you ask for something similar.
How involved is the artist in those
So
prices?
artists have spoken out and wanting to make it as fair as possible, and they recognize how hard it is to get tickets. And a perfect example is just last week, Rufus Du Sol, who I know you have no idea who they are.
No.
They're like an electronic trio. We've seen them a few times. They're amazing. They had originally announced one show at MSG. That's all they had, and they had a show in Atlantic City. Chelsea again was on the hook to get tickets. When she got into the pre-sale link, she was 15,000. There was 15,000 people ahead of her in the waiting room for MSG
For the
and
pre-sale.
for pre-sale. And while she was in the waiting room, they dropped another show a day later at MSG and then another show. So she kept leaving the pre-sales to try and get in these other rooms because they were just announced. So they ended up adding 4 shows in one day to make sure that people could get tickets. We still didn't get them. We're going to see them in Atlantic City because that's how we were able to get tickets.
I mean, it seems like such a corrupt practice. And like, I think of someone like Taylor Swift, who's got a very high favorable rating. In other
Hmm.
words, people like her. Even if they're
Yeah.
not huge fans, they have good things to say about her. You're telling me she can't say, hey, I don't want my ticket selling for $800 face value.
I mean, I almost want to say, I think she has spoken out too. But I don't know how much control the artist actually has.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Well,
gotten so out of control. So what I was watching the news this morning, Tuesday morning, it sounds like if this bill was to pass or they were to win, it would not take effect for a few years. I think it would take some time.
yeah.
But at least there are higher ups that are recognizing the problem and kind of like the corruption that has become like the ticketing industry because it's actually insane. Like I tried to get tickets for Noah Khan, who I love at City Field. Same thing. I went right in the link and there was 8,000 people ahead of me. And I'm at work, so I'm trying to multitask. And then he launched a new show, or he had a new date that he announced as well, kind of taking a similar approach. And I still did not get tickets. But now to go to buy them, again, a concert at a baseball stadium isn't great. So unless you're like really low, but the nosebleeds are like $400.
Well, I know in 1974, I believe, I went to Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, which no longer exists, and saw the Grateful Dead and the band, all right, on a Saturday afternoon, which I didn't really like that music. and I only went because there was a group of people and there was a girl in that group who I really liked. So, and I think we paid $10
No,
for
it's
ten
but
dollars.
But I remember even like pre-COVID, like I love going to concerts. Like I'm one that like I will spend my money on live events. Like I love a concert, I love a sporting event. And I went to a lot because I could get tickets and not feel like I was breaking the bank completely. And now it's just like, oh, do I want to spend that? Like all my friends are going, but like do I really like this person that much?
Yeah, I my issue with concerts for me at this point in my life is A, I don't want to stand for 2.5 hours. I have back issues and I just can't do that. So I need to know that I'm going to have a seat that in front of me there's nobody there, which is
Yeah.
almost
You
impossible
can't
to get.
always guarantee, or you need to go to a show where standing the whole time is not a thing. Like mom and I
Yeah.
saw Chris Stapleton last summer at the Garden, and we didn't stand the whole time. But
Well,
I
even
totally,
even when we saw Billy Joel years ago at Madison Square Garden, there was certain standing during certain songs, but not the whole concert. Like
yeah,
we sat in our seats. That's me. Like I'm
yeah,
more inclined to go to, let's say, the PNC Art Center for an act that is probably more suitable for people in my
yeah.
demographic. You know?
Well, they have a great lineup this summer, so I'll send it. I was texting Brandon. I'm like, we
Oh,
got. I haven't been to a show there in so long, and it's so close to you guys. It's just, I love going there, but we should go and not obviously do the lawn because I know I dragged you once to Dave Matthews on the lawn, and you said never again.
I got
But
stoned. I got
I know.
stoned, and I wasn't. It wasn't legal then.
But well, we should look. Yeah, I love it there. It's a great venue in the summer.
Well, then let's look at it.
Yeah,
Do a family concert or something.
yeah,
All right, so there may be some relief coming, but certainly not for a few years. And by between now and then, people will completely get ripped off. They'll get frustrated, which they should be, and
I
they'll
know.
want to. If they want to go see a concert bad enough, they'll go on the secondary market and pay a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, and I've
Which
heard you can try and go to the box office that at like right before and see if they have any tickets left over. I am as of now going to 3 concerts this summer, so I have a little lineup, but I'd like to get a few more in there. But again, not.
what do you have besides Harry Styles?
Harry Styles is September. Olivia Dean, I'm going with mom in August, and then Rufus Du Sol going to Atlantic City in August.
Okay, all right. Okay, three more than I have.
Yeah.
Um, Before we go to our next segment, want to again remind you that this podcast that we do each week on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and SureSportsInsider.com. This podcast is presented by the Causeway family of dealerships in Manahawkin. I was down there last week for a little service, and they're the best. Matter of fact, it was funny. I walked in and they were having lunch brought in. They had this huge buffet of lunch, and they said, "Hey, you want to eat something?" And I felt guilty, so I couldn't. I went into the waiting room. But
Oh,
they're
come on.
they're just terrific people. The Wintrode family, our friend Joe Straffolino, they're all great. They really are. And most importantly for you, they sell great vehicles. I mean, you got choices: Ford, Lincoln, Nissan, Honda, and Hyundai. They got an amazing inventory, and the chances are, if they don't have it, they'll find it for you. They're just good people. Listen, when you've been in business for well over 50 years, you are doing something right. And at Causeway, they do a lot of things right. They are Ocean County's hometown dealer. Check them out at causewaycars.com. They are our friends, and they are a great, great business. All right, so we wrap up each week with a segment called Kevin Can't Even, in which Alex throws things at me in which I can't even come up with a guess sometimes. So here we go.
Okay, starting easy, but they get harder. This past weekend were the now rebranded Actor Awards, formerly the SAG Awards. Who won the Lifetime Achievement Award?
I watched it. Harrison Ford.
Yeah, he gave a great speech.
He was terrific.
Oh, I
He
love
was
him in
terrific.
Shrinking. Oh, he was so good.
That might be one of the most well written, funny shows in
Oh
a
my
long time. It's
God.
tremendous.
If you're not watching, it is
Yeah.
such a feel good show. I highly, highly recommend. Season what 3 just recently came out.
Season
So.
3. Yep.
Okay. Next up, stylist La Roche recently sparked rumors hinting this private wedding happened between these two celebrities. Who were they?
Oh, a private wedding between two celebrities. You either know it or you don't. I can't. I have no idea.
Her name is just one name. Like no, just one name.
Adele.
No.
Um, I
She's an actress
she's an actress with one name.
with one name.
Zendaya.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And who's her fiance?
Oh, is it Benny Blanco? Is that the one?
No, that's Selena Gomez.
Oh, I get him confused. Who's
Tom
Zendaya
Holland.
with?
Tom
Oh,
Holland.
Tom. Okay, yeah. All right.
So no one has come out to confirm it, but he and her La Roche is her stylist, and they're very close. And he kind of like spilled the tea. So they are engaged. We know that, but we did not know that they were yet married. So
Did people go to the wedding, or it was just the two of them?
it was very intimate.
Because
I
I
don't know
didn't
if
get I didn't get an invite.
I
I
think
know
it
I
got
didn't.
lost in the mail.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, and then last question. Bravo just announced this season's cast of Real Housewives of New York. Can you name one former cast member on the Real Housewives of New York?
You know what? I'm embarrassed. I read this in the New York Post, and I
Who?
forget who it was.
Oh, you can't name
Um,
anyone?
I can't think of the woman that they were specifically talking about, who had gone quite a few years because she got into a dispute with what's his name? Who's the guy?
Andy?
Yeah, she had gotten into a dispute with Andy, Andy,
Cohen.
Andy Cohen. So she
Yeah.
left the show, but now they've mended fences and she's coming back. And for the life of me, I can't think of who it is.
Carol?
What?
Carol?
I don't think so.
Carol Radswell?
Oh, maybe that's
Who was
yeah,
married to a
maybe,
Kennedy.
yeah. Who else is on the show? Can you think of any other names?
Stephanie Frankel?
No, it
But
wasn't
they're
her.
friends. I don't know who used to have beef with Andy, and I watched Ramona Singer.
See,
She's
I
not
can't
coming
think.
back.
I can't, it might have been just might have been in the New York Post today or yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably on page 6.
Well, okay, so you can't name any Real
No,
Housewives.
I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a show I've
Great,
never
great.
watched.
They're trying here. They've tried to recast it quite a few times and it's
Yeah.
not landing, so they're introducing some new people, so we'll see.
All right. Well, there we go. That'll do it for this week's episode number 16.
Oh
Please
my
tell your
God.
friends. Please tell your friends, support our sponsors. If you go into Causeway and buy a car, mention that you heard us talk about it here. Or if you go to Crab's Claw and have a seafood dinner, sort of drop our name. And we hope that you'll be with us next week as well for another edition of the Dad and Daughter Download. And until then, our thanks to Steve Meyer for all his help each week putting this together. Remember, you can watch it on SureSportsInsider.com. And please do watch. Please do watch. And, if you see that I posted on Facebook that you can just click on the link to watch on Facebook, feel free to offer suggestions except to say quit. Don't write that.
But yeah, we'd love to hear. Are there any topics you want us to talk about? Let us know.
Absolutely. As the weather gets warmer, we're going to heat up as well.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it for tonight, this week. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a good week until we talk to you next week. I'm the dad, Kevin Williams.
And I'm the daughter, Alex Williams.
And thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Bye.